Today, you will be introduced to the Unit 2 Gender and Stereotypes final project. Over the course of today, you'll actually decide on what your project will entail. The project contains three parts. The first is a letter, the second is an artifact, and the third is a presentation. The letter will be addressed to an audience of your choice about a problem that we've discussed in this unit. Here's the beginning of my letter as an example. I will be showing you the entire letter later. The second piece of the project is an artifact. An artifact is like an object that you create. My artifact is modeled after the Dear Sophie commercial. You'll see what my artifact is in just a second. Finally, you'll present your letter and your artifact to the class and will be graded on your presentation skills. Here's a quick timeline of what the rest of this week will look like. Today, you'll be selecting a problem, an audience, and an artifact to complete your final project. These are due tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, on the 23rd, on Thursday, you'll gather sources. The sources will need to be finalized by Friday, 10/24. Finally, on 10/24, on Friday, you'll gather evidence. The evidence will be due on 10/27 at the beginning of class. So selecting a problem, you have many different paths to choose from. You could choose to focus on body image or violence in men. You could choose to focus on bullying and hate crimes that occur when people do not fit in, or you could focus on inequality between men and women, either zooming in on the workplace or focusing more on school. If for some reason you have another idea that's entirely different, you may choose it, but you must get it approved by Ms. Green. Next, you'll select an audience. Your audience member, the audience you choose can be from a wide range of ideas. You could write to, say, for instance, a brand like Nike or Secret Deodorant and talk to them about their advertisement. You could write to a famous figure like Chris Brown and talk to him about the messages in his songs. You could write to Miss Benjamin or Miss Waters, the CEO of Leadership Public Schools, and write to them about a problem you see on our campuses. Or you can choose to write to an entirely different audience if you desire. The only thing is you must get it approved by me. So when I sat down to do this project, I first thought, what problem is most appealing to me of the options? And I thought, well, I really want to know more about body image issues. So I chose that first. You'll see that here. As far as an audience member, I thought there's a lot of people I could write to in my life and in the world in general. And I was more interested in writing to someone who I could actually give the letter to. So I chose to write to my little sister. This is an image of some members of my family, and here's my little sister, Olivia, who I actually write to. Please read my explanation of why I chose this problem and why I chose this audience, and answer the questions on the right-hand side. When selecting an artifact, I decided to model my artifact on some of the videos that we've seen. So after watching the Dear Sophie commercial, I was really inspired and thought I would actually create a Dear Olivia Gmail account and send her photos that would make her proud of her own personality and her body. So I plan on selecting 5 different photos from when she was really young, an infant, when she was 2 years old, when she was 4 years old, 8 years old, and a current photo. I was planning on connecting these photos to help her see herself as an awesome person that doesn't need to follow body or gender expectations. Once you are done answering all the questions, please now select a problem and an audience. Explain why you chose this problem and audience, and then select an artifact. If you need help or want to run ideas by me, please just raise your hand.